I don't see additionals on the, okay. All right, we're just missing Liz, that's okay, but she's trying to sign in though, right? Okay. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the May Historic District Commission meeting. We'll start with our roll call around the horn here. I'm Steve Hurd, Chairman.
Emily Walter.
Push the microphone button. No. Microphone. I'm sorry, not microphone, the face.
Oh, the face. Okay. Margaret West.
Thank you.
Kept pushing that microphone.
Shane Lind.
Marie Kaysen.
The face? Okay, I believe you. Technical difficulties. Thank you. That'll work. They heard you across the street. And do we have Liz trying to sign on? We'll see her in a minute, maybe. Okay. All right. First thing on the agenda are our minutes, and if we want to move with that, we'll need to approve them.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from last meeting.
Okay. I have a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Everybody was good with them? What you read through? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? Okay. All right. So we'll start in with our first item, and this is to everybody listing all the applicants. I believe I could be heard. Just our normal procedure. And Nikki, I know you've heard this 100 times before, but when you speak about your project, just give us your name and address, your home address. That's for the record that we do on all our commissions and stuff here in Conway. And give us a intro to what you're wanting to do, and we've got the agenda has all the information, but just tell us what you're doing. We'll ask some questions and talk about it, then deal with it ourselves here. So with that, we have the first one is the 2016 Cross Street. Has some exterior modifications, and I believe I saw Nikki a minute ago. Are you there? I can't. You're nodding. I can't. Yeah. Are you there?
Okay, unmute.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So name and address, and then we'll get going.
Okay, Nikki Thompson, 2759 Carl Stewart.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm so excited about this project. 2016. I'm really wanting to keep the integrity of, what is existing. It has been abandoned for a while. Everything was stripped, no heat and air. It's in really bad shape on the interior, but I love what's going on the exterior. I don't know the history of the house, but to me, it looks like it used to have a garage, and I'd like to put that back. Right now, it almost looks like store glass front and an enclosed garage. And so, again, that's one of my desires is to take that back to a garage. And then on the front, to me, it looks like there used to be windows, and I'd like to put those back on that rock front. And then the only other big thing I'm asking for is on the side, on the right side of the property, there is a rock patio, and I'd like to put a low fence just to give the future homeowners some privacy to be able to use that area.
Okay. Anybody have any questions real quick? Let's see. So we have pictures of the soon-to-be exciting exterior on there, as well as samples of the garage door and fence that you're looking. Is the fence going to look like that, or in that kind of?
Hopefully it'll look a little better than my drawing there, but
No. I mean the photograph. Photograph.
Yes, yes, there is a photograph of an example. Yes.
Okay. Just for our reference here. Again, we're in the overlay district. We're there some requirements, but not the same as like the windows and stuff like that. Replacement windows that's been addressed. Did you see the recommendations?
I did.
Okay. Anything? It really was
No, I feel like y'all approved everything I was asking, and just clarified some points. So
Sure.
that was
Okay.
good.
I need some guidance here. Which,
Well, Does
I'm
the
sorry.
fence conform?
Pardon me, Nikki. Do we have any input from public? I'm not used to having a lot of people, so. Well, Nick, just a sec. Nikki, so are you done with the presentation? I got
Yeah.
the old
Yes,
procedure with people around. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because I don't have that. I just am seeing what y'all have got on the screen. But the other thing I did request was to replace the aluminum windows.
Okay. And the recommendation covered that as far as
Yes.
what, okay. All right. Okay. With that said, I'll ask if there's anybody else to speak in favor of it. And then if there's anybody to speak in opposition to it or with general questions. I need your name and address. We need Caleb Clausen. If you want to come up to here. Nick, we have somebody in the audience that's going to speak.
Caleb Clausen, address 954 Donaghy Avenue.
Okay.
I want to say that we're super excited that she has purchased a property, and we've seen some of her work around town, and so we're ecstatic. As a
Okay.
neighborhood, we are ecstatic that she's, the property has had many issues over the last 2.5 years. The roof has been leaking since a tree fell on the home. It's had no power and no water for the last 2 years while a person has been living in the home.
Yowza.
Yeah, so it's been in very bad shape. But I own a property that is touching what would be the west side
Okay.
of Mr. or Miss Haley's home now. It has drainage issues, and both my house and the Scroggins home takes water from this property, and it's due to just overall neglect. So all I would ask is that I'm really here just to. I was concerned that maybe you were doing an addition to the home, which, as you know, would shed more water onto our properties. So I'm very glad to hear that you're, but the property does have some drainage issues,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I have not spent a lot of time over there, so I appreciate you letting me know.
And
it would be from your drawing, it would be to the facing your plan, be to the left side of the driveway.
Okay.
And,
Okay. Where the garage side?
Yes, and it's standing in water, not just because of the rain we've had the past week.
Right.
It is just always inundated with water, and
Okay.
that's really what we're facing. A mosquito, a mosquito pond, for lack
Yeah.
of better terms. So
Well, and-
that's
and-
my only concern.
Well, just addressing that, and to Nikki, we're not, dictating landscaping, but there's mitigation that can happen for that, that I would, just beautifying the property might come along with that, but that's making her aware of what is happening to
Yeah,
the
I
properties
appreciate it.
adjacent would
That's
help
right.
that, so.
That's right. Excited to see that you've bought it, and I'm very excited to see what you do with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Me too.
Thank you, sir. All right, anybody else speak one way or the other? I guess now that was a mix. That was good. Anybody else? Yep.
Uh,
Well, you were on.
Okay. Does the fence conform?
Yeah, the fence is okay, correct?
With that
Yeah,
era?
that type, yeah, the fence
That's
was,
what I thought.
yeah. Yeah, material was the main thing, and the height, and then after that, we're not crazy on the fence was fine with staff, and, so.
Nikki, are you leaving the shed in the back?
I need to look at it. I really haven't given thought to keep or not to keep. I've not been on the property very much, so I don't remember what kind of shape it's in. So if it's falling in, I'm not going to repair it.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any other questions?
I'll motion to approve
Okay.
recommendations.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve with recommendations as put forth by the staff. Anybody have anything else to say? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Liz, you hear what we just did?
Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
voted.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw you were on there. I didn't know you were there. And welcome too, by the way. All right, well, thank
Thank
you. It's approved, and James will do the normal, I guess, tomorrow, at his earliest convenience, have a COA for you, Nikki, and then you proceed from there. Okay?
Yay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
sir. All right, so next up, we have the office storage building on Scott Street. Do we have someone here for that? I see mutes on the ones that just popped up.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
this is Rick Sowell.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
okay, just do the normal old thing, Rick, name and address for our record, and then we can jump
Okay.
into it, okay?
Home address, 645 Grandview Heights.
Okay.
Office address downtown, 1315 North Street.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Are you ready for me to speak about
Yes,
this?
go for it.
Okay. This is an addition that will go on the back side of the existing VMA building. The intent here is to use the same type of materials that we have on the front of the building facing Locust Street, just in a little bit different manner, but same materials, almost the same arrangement. It should be a dramatic improvement to the view of the rear of this building. And so we respectfully ask for approval this evening. I will make mention of the fact that due to the neighbor's request, and we did have a meeting with the neighbors, but due to the neighbor's request, the dumpster will be relocated to move it away from the view of the back of the building. So any comments regarding the dumpster will be disregarded. Can I answer any questions?
Well,
I do have the owner's rep online with me,
Okay.
Mr. Mike Jones.
I just have just a clarification question more than anything.
Sure.
But when you say in addition to, it's not physically attached to the building, correct? The
It is
existing-
not attached. That
Okay.
is correct.
But it's, okay, it's just, and it's an addition to this complex, if you will, as opposed to a physical addition to the building.
That's correct.
Okay, I just-
The only connection will be an overhead walkway that
Right.
connects the drive, or that used to be Oliver Street, will remain as it is, and they'll use it for accessing the building.
Okay.
And so the overhead connection will be the only connection.
Okay, good. I just, like I said, when you said addition to,
Yeah.
I had to double check that. Okay, all right. Any more comments, Rick? Anything else?
No, all the recommendations seem to be fine. I will ask that we not be required to add additional windows. They're just not needed, especially with the comments up above under design elements that window designs are appropriate. So we would like to not have to add additional windows if we don't need it. Most of the area within this building is going to be storage area. The corners will be offices, and so the additional windows are just not needed.
Okay, and would that be the drawings show, is it north and east?
That would be the south and
South.
the west.
I'm sorry, okay.
Mhm.
Well, there's,
Where would they even put them?
yeah, I know. I mean, to me, on those two elevations, I'd be content with what's there personally, but, was that? I mean, you told me. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, what is the, sorry, Rick, what's the percentage now? Did you have a number? Just trying to do more clarification, Rick, hold on.
Mhm.
It's 12.5 and 10%. Part of it, it's 12.5 and 10% currently. Part of it is just the height of the structure.
Yeah,
It's,
and it's a parapet wall structure, is that true, Rick?
Yes, mechanical equipment will be on the roof.
Sure. Not to, well, we'll get to this in a second.
It's not a hill
I know, I have my comments, but any public comment for online for this? Okay. There's nobody here to speak for or against. My only thing, I guess in defense of not adding more windows, and that, since we have a recommendation to add more at the people, size, at the along the ground where everybody's gonna be, there, it has the look of windows open, that kind of thing. Where the wall space that's up above, that's really just the kind of the meat and the scale of the other building. We don't have a second story, so, to me, I'm okay with the windows down there, what's on there without having to add any. I made a really junky presentation of that thought, but still, if anybody
I
else has.
agree.
Okay, so we're fine I mean, I'm assuming everybody's okay with recommendation number 4. I'd need somebody to make a motion and deal with that, but, I guess we're in agreement, Rick. That's where
Okay.
I am anyway, is
Okay,
what I'm
great.
saying.
I'll make a motion that we remove recommendation number 4.
Okay,
Well, is that motion to approve with removal of recommendation 4?
Yes.
okay, so we have a motion for approval with the recommendations and modified by deleting number 4.
Second?
And it's motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? And Rick, a lot of these things.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Liz.
Okay. I had a question about the covered walkway. Can you explain that a little bit more?
That's true, we don't,
Yes, the intent there is a pre-manufactured covered type school sidewalk, sort of like Mapes or something like that. Just a pre-manufactured, approximately 8 feet wide, just very simple. Has its own rain collection and downspout system.
Okay.
Will there be columns or will it span from building to building?
There will be some columns
At the curb.
on either side of the driveway just
Okay.
to support it.
Okay. All right.
Is Oliver Street, is it still operational, or did you say it was a drive now, like just a private drive?
It's been closed. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, it doesn't even connect to Scott Street now.
Oh, good deal. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that was my concern. It's just the height of it and
Yeah.
traffic and things, but
Yeah.
that's what I thought. It wasn't operational, but, all right.
Good question.
So
Alright.
James,
There's actually an elevation change between that and where it goes up the hill on the street. And so we're asking that they put a continuous row of evergreen shrubs where that existing street would have been. So I think even with those shrubs, it probably will visually soften that a little bit as the grade
Oh.
between where Oliver Street is and or where Scott is and where Oliver is, there's enough difference there that it'll help soften it some.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay. And I was gonna say too, Rick, most of the recommendations here for us to look at and talk about are development review process type things anyway.
Right, right.
So that's to be handled between you and the planning department later.
Okay.
Okay, with all that, do we have a?
well, I was gonna ask the question, do we have to approve the look of the walkway as well, James?
I mean, it's would be included as part of it. I mean, it's just assumed to be just a metal block.
Okay.
I think it'll be.
And it should, from my experience with Mapes and what Rick puts out, it would be consistent, Rick, with the awning that you have on the west elevation, correct?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. So I think that'd be fine.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna end up looking as one group of pieces of construction tied together, I think, so,
Yeah.
It will not be any more visually intrusive than the back of the building.
than the building.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Just wanted to, help out. Okay, we have a motion and a second and the motion meaning that, number 4 is gone on the recommendations.
And I would say amend number 3 since they're moving the dumpster to just look like a continuous row of shrubs,
Okay, I didn't,
since they're moving it.
Steve, I couldn't hear that comment. What was that?
I was wondering where the dog was.
It's at my house, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all right. Well, number 3?
Yeah, it says in addition.
Oh,
to all
I'm sorry.
landscaping required,
Right,
it
right.
requested additional shrubs to soften the appearance of the existing dumpster
Gotcha.
enclosure, but they said they're moving that, so
Right.
it's just not required, so I would say strike that.
We could, yeah, Rick, there's a reference to the dumpster enclosure in item 3.
Correct.
And if it's okay for the person who made the motion to delete the
fine.
dumpster part,
That's
we'll
fine.
do, we'll do that. We'll amend that too. So the motion, this person seconding is okay with that too, so we're all good. Okay, any more discussion?
No.
With that said, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good deal. And you know the routine from now, James, we got more review things to go through with James, but it's in his office now, so. All right, well, thank you, Rick.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right. Next one up is fence variance is how it's listed at 911 Oak Street. We have, I believe, Morgan Shaw here to speak on that. And again, Morgan, I don't know if you heard me, but when you tell us what's going on, give us your name and home address, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I am Morgan Shaw. Oh, it looks like it's loading. Sorry. Morgan Shaw. This business is at 911 Oak Street. I own a few businesses downtown, but this one's for 911. I have been a business owner in Conway specifically downtown Conway for 3 years now. When I purchased Share the Love, I purchased from the Connors about a year ago. I saw a lot of potential, but a need for growth and expansion. With the current building, we were not going to be able to do that. We were going to consider moving or expanding outside. Let's see. Sorry if I look off my form, it's over here. In the efforts of trying to stay true to my downtown roots, I opted for outside expansion. In the midst of COVID protocols, the need for expansion, I felt the best way to expand would be outside. We put up this fence. It's 23 by 17. Legacy Fencing put it up. I was unaware of downtown codes whenever I put this up, and Legacy didn't mention any kind of codes as well. So I went ahead and put it up. Inside of that space, we have a garage door that opens up into our building. So we are able to have free airflow throughout our space. And our kids ride scooters right here, and there's a rope swing as well as some sensory play. I'm basically here to ask for to be an exception to this rule. This is my first time having to do this. Our fence, we put it up like this because of the safety of our children. We have lots of people in and out. I've collectively had about $1 million of taxable revenue for downtown Conway. We do a lot of business, and this was a move that we felt like we had to make. Our fence cannot be visible for the safety of our kids. I don't know if you're familiar with our parking lot. We struggle with a lot of homeless people camping out in our parking lot and in our pergola and walking through during business hours. So I needed to provide a space that was safe for my children that come and play. Hold on, I got off track.
You're fine.
Basically, my only other point was that we feel like this is the best move to add on to our building outside mainly because of COVID, we're able to have airflow throughout our building and still be able to grow and stay downtown. So I know that the proposal was to do a metal fence of sorts. We cannot do a metal fence of sorts because kids are, as you know, magicians and can wiggle through any size of space. So a metal fence with all the gapping, kids can find a way through, and as well as it doesn't protect the safety and privacy of my families while they're out playing from the environment outside of Kids Club.
Okay. I'm sorry, we have any public input on this? Okay. All right. Just to start off, the use of the fence, the need of a fence, the function of it, and creating that space, that's great. We're not here to, we're not speaking to that. The function of it and actually having a fence. Fences are okay,
Right.
and I can't speak to being the fence company not knowing or not telling you that the plastic was basically forbidden. It's not allowed. It's not, there's some things we have that there's, like we urge you not to do or whatever, but this is a no, not allowed material. Okay, wrong word, sorry. But, and, wood would do you could get the same fence, same, privacy, detail, everything with wood, especially I would think that, somebody like Legacy could do that.
That material is also prohibited in the urban zone.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I put my other hat on.
That was
Sorry.
That was the struggle for us. Basically,
Yeah, I'm
everything
sorry.
that worked for us, it seems to be prohibited, so.
Right. We're kind of caught in a thing where it's we don't have any wiggle room on the material, and that's what we've got to deal with is the material, and I don't. So wood is also not allowed. Is that correct?
Yeah, and basically
Okay.
what I read is that whatever we do put out has to have 70% visibility, which we couldn't do it. We can't do that for the safety of our families.
Yeah.
So it requires that it be of metal, brick, or stone.
Okay.
The visibility probably is an area that
We could discuss.
we could discuss. It in the code, it's the fact that plastic, chain link, and wood are expressly prohibited. A lot of times in the code it says it's discouraged, it's this. There's not often hard line language that says no. And this is, unfortunately, happens to be one of those instances where there is a hard line no
Yeah.
that exists in the code.
And understand if it had come before us without it being built yet and as a request, like James says, it's a hard line no. I mean, so
Yeah,
Can I ask a question?
yes, this Liz.
So, this is Liz.
Yeah.
The Zateo Coffee that is literally in their front door, their pergola doesn't violate anything, being a wood enclosure right on the street?
It's I don't think you can see it from here, can you? Hold on a sec.
I think it's in one of those pictures, it's visible.
It's on, yeah, it adjoins them.
At the very bottom of page 20.
Not that I'm trying to point fingers or get anybody else, in trouble or anything, but
that pergola's been there for several years.
Yeah, it has.
yeah,
It
since
has.
it's been, yeah. And so my only point is I understand the argument for the safety of kids. As a young mother, I don't think I would feel comfortable with my kids playing out in a parking lot in downtown Conway, although I would feel safe with them being in an enclosed outdoor space. Now, that being said, what did you say? The recommendation is for it to be out of what, stone, brick, or metal?
Yeah.
I mean, stone and brick would be obviously, if it was a stone or a brick wall downtown, then we'd all feel warm and fuzzy about it, but it might be cost prohibitive for Morgan to expand her business. So while I'm just trying to be the creative type here and thinking outside the box, is there a way that we could meet somewhere in the middle and say, while vinyl is not, the plastic fence is not typically allowed, is there a way that we could ask them to screen it with some kind of planting boxes or something like that to soften the appearance of it? Or is that not something that the commission would consider?
The problem we have, the corner we're boxed into basically is the material's not allowed. And we, putting something in front of it, there's nothing wrong with that, but,
But neither is wood, and that's
it's
what's right in front of her as well.
It's very nestled into the corner. You can't even really see this from the street. That's why I'm a little perplexed. And I mean, I'm sorry, there's probably no excuse.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I understand that too, and it's again, not, saying that the material's not allowed. We're not speaking to the reason it's there and the safety and all that it gives you. but the materials that are allowed could do that, and it's just,
I'm confused why they couldn't use metal. I've seen some very nice metal fences. I mean, that's a material that's allowed.
Because all metal, because I've visited this, that proposal, and metal fences with the, we weren't able to come up with one that would provide enough privacy that kids couldn't find a way to escape through the gaps of metal rods. Like when you picture a metal rod fence, I mean, kids can squeeze through those spaces. And the visibility through metal for like our home, we already struggle with our homeless population camping out in our pergola. We have a lot of equipment in this space. So now that equipment is all visible to the community for, that's it. I'm sorry, I didn't know these codes at all, and I already put the fence up and paid for it, and it's just, this is my first time having to do this, so it's a little emotional for
well,
me.
we understand that. I've just Googled a handful of solid metal fences.
I
and
have a metal fence that's solid, that's 8 foot high,
there's
so I don't.
decorative,
That's
panels
very
that
nice.
look
It
like,
keeps dogs in.
yeah, there's some out there. I mean, that's not, I'm not a salesman for it. I'm not I'm not designing either, but there are some solutions to it, and I know that would be, cheaper, I'm sure, than stone or brick, and it's something that can be done to like the plastic was done, and there's, I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for Legacy that they have, I don't know if they do that kind of stuff, I don't know, but there are some options, and some of them they're geared for like keeping your dogs in and things like that, which I'm not comparing kids to dogs. I've got kids too. I understand that, but it's just, there's no gaps. There's no, and I just Googled it just real quick, and there's quite a bit out there, but still, I think there is an option, or options, with one of the 3 materials that we allow.
James, I have a question. What is Legacy's responsibility in this? Not to point fingers, but it says right here that the work was conducted without a permit. So who does that? Is Legacy responsible for that?
Yeah, and I'm actually in a court battle with them over that. So it's a whole thing.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't pull any permits or codes, and Lauren Hoffman called me within 24 hours from putting the fence up, and this fence cost me $4,000. So,
Right.
yeah, we're in a whole legal battle because of that. So.
And I'm sorry for that. It's just I know it's a mess, but
that's kind of where I'm at with it. I mean, I agree. It's prohibited. There's not much we can do, but.
Can it be an option to hold this for next month, let her meet with the city or someone else to talk about options for a metal fence? Is my thing working? Oh,
Nope.
It's this. Maybe. But could that be an option where we just give her some time to research other ways to make this work and other options and then revisit it? I would be open to that.
Because she'll have to present it back to us anyway for approval.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this case has come as a result of enforcement action.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem tabling it.
Yeah, because I'm fine. I mean, like Steve said, I kind of Googled different options for completely private, metal fencing. I don't know if they're allowed, but it'd be nice if she could look at the options, bring it back to you, James, and say yes, no, figure out what works best. I don't think this has to be solved immediately.
I'm fine with doing that. With my court battle with Legacy, I'm not going to be able to afford to do anything else after this one. So, yeah.
well, and again, we understand that too, and I'm not making any judgment or anything on their part of this, but maybe some remedy can be part of what comes out of whatever you're dealing with legally. I'm not going to go there with that because that's not our thing. But again, I hope you can get it resolved.
Thank you.
Towards you, but and we're not trying to pile on. I hope that's not seen that way. But we're our corner that we're, like I said, backed into is a material not allowed. It's there. We got to deal with it, and there are options, and we need to deal with it that way. So if we can table it and give you a little air, a little air to kind of, because you came tonight. We got to resolve this. Boom, but we do have time. It's not like you're needing to build it tomorrow to get something taken care of. It's built, so your function is there. We're not going to impede that at all. But we're just going to be doing a little dancing around what materials we use. So if you're okay with tabling it, let you kind of focus on your other problems with it, and we can and maybe do some research, and we can talk about it again. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Again, I'm sorry, but I mean, we're caught in a corner like you are technically too. So.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm a rule follower, so I'm just like really frustrated by this because I would put it up if I had known.
And I understand. And I appreciate that. I don't have any doubt about that. But we got to do what we got to do here. So we'll table it. Oh, I need a motion.
I guess-
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion is second for tabling. Any more discussion? We're good with that, everybody? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, again, good luck with it, with the other part of it that's out of our hands. We'll talk to you again. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. With that, we have anything outstanding or even mediocre?
Oh, on the
Outstanding.
On the 26th, we will have the bid opening for the resurvey of the downtown district. So thank you for those of you that have volunteered to be on the committee, selection committee.
Got to send you something. But I'm fine.
It's okay. We have plenty of folks.
I'm fine.
With that, we also additionally have gotten final deliverable on the Robinson resurvey as well. So we have that finished. And then I'll send y'all an email out shortly. This week, we're going to have a public meeting on the African American History Context Survey that's being done.
Oh, yeah.
So that event has been created, I'll just go ahead and send an email.
When did you say that the review process was gonna start?
It's 26th.
26th.
So on the 27th of this week, we have at 6 p.m., we have the African American History Context meeting. We've got an event registration on there. So if there's anybody watching, what's going on? If there's anyone watching, if you go to the conwayarkansas.gov, click on the events tab, and go to community meeting. There, under here, you can register for the meeting, and it'll also be streamed. So that's it.
All right.
On the 26th, we have a meeting over that too, or you're just starting the process?
No, just starting the process.
Okay.
So that's when the opening will be, and then we'll get the submissions distributed out to the selection committee. We'll likely meet and then submit scoring on that.
That's good. All right. That's pretty. All right. Everybody.
I make a
We're
motion
good?
to adjourn.
Okay. We have a motion to adjourn. I don't usually take a thank you. I don't. Let's go. I don't usually take a vote on that. But thank you, Liz.
Thanks, Liz.